Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer Collective. Let's get it going here, my friends. Guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancerians in Cancer season, might I add? It's a lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lead into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer in late June 2026. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have some fun, my good friends. And while I get this card out, I just want to wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you. We're just entering Cancer season, so I hope you all have a beautiful birthday and have all your parties planned out. And the next year is going to be absolutely great. I feel it. All right, cool. So we're starting off with a card that could actually be pretty good. I feel like I've seen this for you in recent weeks, at least once. It's nice Libra energy, and it could actually be extremely beneficial and harmonious. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this individual here, little yin yang right there on the chest and balancing these two discs. And there's the Libra symbolism right there. And this person's literally doing a balancing act. So, in the positive sense, what do we know about Libra? It's represented by the scales, and it usually speaks about neutrality. So, when I see this, I think it's very harmonious, very balanced, nice and calm. So, for the Cancers out there that have been going through some things, or times have been a little wild, times have been a little hectic, this could be things actually coming into a beautiful state of balance. So I think this could be really great. Now, one thing I always mention, I don't want to say the big but, this card reminds me a lot of the Two of Pentacles. And it could also sometimes represent when there's a lot of things that I'm currently balancing. So for some Cancers, maybe you have a lot on your plate, right? Maybe you have a lot on your mind. Maybe you're very busy. Maybe you're burning the candle from both ends. So if that's the case, maybe this is Spirit wanting you to calm it down a little bit, pump the brakes, or I know that's easier said than done, right? Life happens, but this energy could be very busy, 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 and balancing quite a bit. So hopefully you're not feeling overwhelmed, but we're going to take it for its good aspect, right? We're going to put him down right there. I mean, some of you might be connected to Libra, maybe you have Libra placements, but let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Cancers. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled A Surprising Situation. Now, a surprising situation doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. And it happens in life, right, where there's certain things that just seem to pop up out of the blue. So it did feel like, recent times might be a little more susceptible to things like that happening. So even over the coming days and weeks, you might have certain things just pop up out of the blue. Doesn't mean they're bad, though. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we can be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my beautiful Cancer friends in their birthday season. Let's see what we got. Cool. Nice quick card. Yeah, there we go. So we got the Knight of Cups chilling right there. That's a Cancer power card. That's usually pretty good, my friends. Gonna get him tucked in right there. Let's get a couple more. What do we got for Cancer, please? As we start off Cancer season, tons of water energy, which is really good for a Cancer reading. We have the beautiful High Priestess herself chilling right there in the center. Very, very in tune. Okay, let's get one more. Let's get one more here for Cancer. Thank you. Okay, King of Pentacles. I love the elemental mixture, and we're going to get into this momentarily. A lot of people showing up in the energy too, which could be important for one reason or another. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that paints a picture, frames the reading, and tells us how comfortable you might be with this whole vibe. And for Cancer being a water sign, the predominant element is water right here, and we have a little bit of earth. Now, one thing I always say when we mix water and earth, to me, it represents abundance, represents growth, blessings. It's similar to like watering a garden, right? when you mix these two together, it's usually pretty good. So I am optimistic about what we're seeing. Now, when it comes to water, cancers are usually masters of this element, right? It's the internal world, it's the emotional world. So there could be situations, people, things that we're emotionally invested in that could really be at the front and center when there's a lot of water energy here. Water deals with partnerships. I would say it's very imaginative and creative and emotionally expressive. So for a water sign, this is actually really good. The only downside I say when it comes to water is that it could be a little in and out, right? Just like the tides, they ebb and they flow and up and down. So it's funny we had that balanced energy in the beginning when we have a lot of ebb and flow here. The only thing with water is that sometimes it can overwhelm. So try not to get overwhelmed by certain things. But then we have water, the earth right next to the water. Earth element to me represents results. It represents stability and security. I think of routine. I think of day to day life. It's very predictable. We think of money, work, business, finance, home, and family. So all the material aspects of life are under this earth umbrella, which could be very good. But the downside to earth, it can feel a little stuck, right? Like it's an energy that's very slow. So when there's a lot of earth energy, sometimes it could be a little stubborn. Sometimes it could be a little set in its ways. Sometimes it could be frustrating. Sometimes it could be boring. So you see what I mean? But usually when we mix these two together, we get the best of both worlds, unless it turns into a mudslide, right? But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with one of your power cards, the beautiful Knight of Cups himself. We love it, right? Now, this card does show up a lot in love readings. I'm not going to say that this is particularly a love reading, but it could just tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. Now, one thing I say about all the knights, they represent action, they represent communication. And you see this one, he's coming up with the cup. Here, have this cup. So I think it's really great. Out of all the knights, this is that nice middle ground, right? Whereas, like with the Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands, they're quick, they're fast, there's a sense of urgency. The Knight of Pentacles, he could be a little slow and very detail oriented. The Knight of Cups to me is moving at the perfect speed. Now, if this is a person, this could be that Prince Charming archetype, someone that's like a very good talker, smooth talker. I think it could be really great. It's a very romantic card as well. So for some cancers, you might be a little extra sentimental in this time when this guy shows up. The only downside with the Knight of Cups is that this energy can absolutely shut down and close down. This is an energy that can suppress, and it's an energy that could play off of emotions as well. So we're just going to put him down right there. Again, it could just be an action, it could just be a talk, or something we need to know that's pertinent to you. Now, moving to the middle, I think this is the part that's intriguing me most in the reading so far. We have the beautiful High Priestess. Now, classically, she connects to the Pisces collective, but personally, in my style, I like to give her to all the water signs. I feel like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, they all embody this High Priestess energy. Now, she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She's really heavily involved with anything spiritual based. So, for some cancers, maybe you're just fine tuning your spiritual rituals or getting in touch with your inner self. That's a big thing with her. So I really like her. She is the keeper of knowledge. I love this High Priestess energy for a variety of different reasons. And also notice she is between these two pillars, the dark, the light, the masculine, the feminine, the up, the down. So there's been this theme about the middle ground that we've been seeing for quite a while. The downside to the High Priestess is the fact that she is so hush hush, she is so quiet. Sometimes she can represent the unexpected, she can represent the surprising, just like we saw last week. But worst case scenario, she can represent secrecy. So we're going to keep a look at her, especially next to the Knight of Cups, because this could be a conversation coming out of the blue or something about like someone like keeping their lips zipped. Now, on the back end, we have the Knight of Pentacles. A portion of you might be connected to an earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Remember, it's not gender specific. So we have a lot of court cards. We got a lot of people. So maybe a lot of the energy we're seeing here might not necessarily even be yours. Because another thing with this High Priestess that I failed to mention, she represents intuition, energy sensitivity. So when I see her surrounded by people, your little energy sensors could be heightened in this time. Now, the King of Pentacles, as with all kings, represents control of his suit. We spoke about the earth, we spoke about what it means. So to him, I think of abundance, I think of stability, I think of predictability. He's usually really, really fantastic. I link him to wins and victories all the time. So I think this is a great card to have. But the downside to him is that it is very much set in stone, very much set in its ways. So it's like we have all this flowy energy pushing forward. Hopefully, this isn't like a brick wall of sorts. But I want to dive deeper on all the Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. Knight of Cups here. What's he got? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Knight of Cups time. What's he doing? Why is the Knight of Cups here for my good friends? There we go. Cool. I like it. I really like it. So another conversational type of energy here. We have the Ace of Wands in the upright underneath this Knight of Cups. There is this you remember I was saying about the balance and the sense of urgency? Like when I see the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Wands, there is this energy of restraint or refraining from something. So I'm not sure if there are certain things or behaviors that you're trying to tone back. Not sure if there's certain things or situations where you're trying to like keep it bottled up a little bit. But I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad bottling up. It's like, oh, I need to pace myself here. I need to slow it down, slow and steady. It's like an energy that's coaching itself, which I think is really good. But the thing with the Ace of Wands, as with all aces, they represent offers, opportunities, conversations. Now, out of all the other ones, this one is like a mini tower. I always say that, like the Ace of Wands and the tower, they share a similar dynamic, whereas this one is just it's a lot less intense than a full-on tower. So when I see him under this Knight of Cups, could this be an explosive talk or message coming in? Absolutely. That could be part of it. But the main overarching theme, if we just take the conversation or message and put that to the side, there's this energy where it's like, oh, I want to do this thing, but I can't do it yet. So there is this energy of restraint, refraining, or wanting to do something, but not yet for some reason. I don't know what this not yet is, but we're just going to keep going. I don't think we're going to overcomplicate it. It's good. So again, very conversational type of energy right here in the front. We're going to keep moving over to the High Priestess. Let's get that Ace of Wands right there. So we'll see what she has. I've been curious about this High Priestess since the beginning. So why is she here, please? Why is the High Priestess here? Thank you. That's good. That's actually really good. So we have the Five of Cups in reverse underneath this High Priestess. I just really like this self-soothing, if that makes sense. So there could be someone, if not you, that is using self-soothing methods or strategies, which I think could be a very good thing, right? That's a very healthy thing to learn to do, self-soothe. Now, if we put that message to the side, that's just the first thing. Usually the Five of Cups, when it shows up in the upright, which it didn't, it's like the river of tears, right? What is this person doing? They're upset, they're sad, they're down, they're depressed. When it shows up in reverse, it is a moving forward type of energy. So again, with this energy here in the front, the pacing of oneself, the self-soothing, the moving in the right speed, I just think this is great. This to me does feel like action oriented. So again, High Priestess, Five of Cups in reverse. It's like, okay, I've lingered on this long enough. Now it's time to make a move. So could it be surprising action, unexpected action? Sure, that could absolutely be it. Could be some people even doing shadow work. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of different stuff where it's like, I'm looking into the past. I'm dealing with this. I'm uncovering that. It feels like I'm processing things too. So those are the main things I'm picking up here. Self-soothing, one. Two, I feel like this could be some surprising or unexpected action coming in, um, or that energy that's just moving forward. I like it. We're going to keep moving over to the King of Pentacles because maybe this will show us the result. Because I said that earlier. To me, Pentacles usually represent result. And the way I look at the suits, I always say we start with the air. The air is the idea, the air is the thought, the fire is the action, right? And the water is the emotion that leads to the result. Not necessarily in that order, but let's see what's up with the King of Pentacles. Let's see what the King of Pentacles has. Thank you. Okay. And I think I've been seeing this alignment a ton here, my friend. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse underneath this King of Pentacles. So more of the earthy energy showing up here. And this is that action-oriented vibe where it's like, all right, as long as I don't do nothing, right? Like there are sometimes I say the best action is no action. But this all feels very methodical and planned out. Right, so I am partially getting this vibe, like with the King of Pentacles. Remember, he has control. He's setting things up. He wants predictability. Hanged Man in reverse is like, okay, I'm putting a plan into action. So for some cancers, that could be an advice where maybe in this time, whatever it is that you're working through, whatever it is that you're dealing with, slow, methodical, planned out, step by step is the way to move, right? Like we've been seeing this restraint throughout the whole entire reading, where it's like the slower, the better for some reason, even if it feels like you need to move fast. But the Hanged Man in reverse, like in the upright, he's taking in information, he's restrained, he's planning and strategizing. So we do have this like plan based vibe, whether it's somebody else or whether it's you. It's somebody that's planned something out and they're putting it into effect, which that seems interesting to me. So whether that's advice or what someone's doing, it makes sense. I'm okay with the overall vibe here. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadows. So we got a lot of stuff happening here, Cancer. Position number one, we have the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Wands in the upright. I did say this felt to me like somebody trying to refrain or restrain from something, where it's like, I want to do this thing, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just take my time with it. I don't know. It's like a not yet type of energy, too. Uh, could also be a conversation or talk of like an explosive nature. I don't necessarily feel like that's bad. Moving to the middle, we have the action coming out of the blue once again, similar to like what we saw last week. We have the High Priestess with the Five of Cups in reverse. It was also giving me things like self-soothing mechanisms, which I think is really great. But it's an energy that's like, okay, let's move forward here. Even if I don't know where I'm going, I need to be moving forward. So I think that's great. On the back end, we have the King of Pentacles with the Hanged Man in reverse here. Again, we're putting action, we're putting thoughts into action. Someone putting a plan into effect. So whether you're strategizing or somebody else is, it's like this energy is going to follow through with it. But there's something about it that's moving slow. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got? What do we got for Cancer, please? Thank you. Cool. Two of Swords. The Two of Swords does have some similarities with the High Priestess in the front. Now, I always say that all twos in tarot could represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, make or break point, and all that good stuff. But this one, hoodwinked and blindfolded, right? It's nighttime. There's the moon in the sky. In the classical sense, this card is a shadow card because it could represent indecision or confusion, moving into the unknown, similar to like what we saw here in the center. So, yeah, in this time, I believe if you are dealing with something that you're indecisive or confused about, whether it's what someone else did, what someone else is doing, why is this turning out this way, if there's like a lot of questions around this Two of Swords, to me, I think the best course of action is a slow, steady approach, right? Now, again, this could be somebody else you're connected to that is in this mind frame, which could be a little frustrating to deal with because it's like, yeah, I don't know what to do here. So I would just say to watch out for that and just take it slow. We're going to put that Two of Swords down right there, my friends. Very indecisive, but that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, the winners, which will be 3, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.